In this video, I'll be building my very first actual base on the Let's Just Create SMP, as well as showing you exactly how you can build it and use it for yourself. And is that a pink sheep back there? I think it is. But anyways, let's get to how I actually made this thing. So I started with this basic cube shape and I refined it a little bit and added some windows, and then I started going for the second part, which I actually kind of made into a clock tower. Then I went ahead and made a small area out on the front so you can park vehicles, as well as a bridge connecting the clock tower to the next building, which is the factory building. Although it's not a very big factory building, it still has some space to do stuff inside. And then off to the side, I also thought that it would be a really good thing to make an infinite lava source, so I went ahead and made one of those as well. And this is only roughly what it looks like since I do make some adjustments later. And I am quite happy with how this thing turned out, but we're going to need a way to power this thing. And I'm kind of thinking I can use magnets, as well as this thing called the kinetic conversion bearing. And what I'm thinking for this is, since if you get a contraption on this thing, then I can just quickly grab a shaft. It should start spinning that. Yeah, so it spins the shaft as soon as I do that. And I want to get this redstone magnet here to spin. And I feel like a kind of weird way to do that, but I think it should work, is by putting down a swivel bearing, giving that its own magnets. I should now have this be able to turn, and that turns with it, yeah. So what I'm thinking is if I give this thing some power, I'll be able to make a bunch of power out of this bearing. And if I put on some goggles, we can see what stress units this gets. And it's using 1024, and it's actually getting 13,000, which is pretty crazy. And I do want this to like look good, so I'm not going to try to do something that's too like weird looking. But I am curious if I go ahead and just grab a normal block, and then I try and connect it to this one. Yeah, that worked. Oh, okay. So if you link it to a swivel bearing, it is going to limit it to 40,000 stress units. That makes sense. But actually, it might just be better if I make some magnets that will just perpetually spin with stationary magnets. Alright, this is progress right here. Not like anything insane, but it's working. Turn all of this on. Whoa, okay. I think that's working a lot better. Now, if I turn that on, I can go underneath it. And how much stress does this give me? 120,000. That's honestly pretty insane. And I'm actually going to try and make this a little bit bigger, see if that does anything. Because we were getting like 120,000 stress units before. Whoa, that looks a lot faster. Significantly more stress units too. So as you probably know, it has been a little while since I've been on the server, but we're finally back. If you watched my latest video on the Let's Just Create SMP, you probably know that I lost my VTOL in the void. So in this video, I am going to have to rebuild that before I can actually build the new base, because I'm not going to be building the base here. I'm actually going to be building it a little bit further away, which is why I'm going to be needing that VTOL. I didn't like 4,000 extra granite that I did not realize I had that much of. You said you needed 3,000? Is that about 3,000? I think that was about 3,000.
Yeah, it's around it.
Thank you.
That enough?
Yeah.
Oh, here, I have another. I got 2,000. I got more diamonds than this. Oh no! I got more diamonds than granite.
That's crazy. Okay, so I am going to need to now get that VTOL back up and running. And I did do a bit of off-camera getting materials. I kind of took apart the iron farm a little bit to make granite. Oh, that's a lot. That is so much gravel. Also, I'm pretty sure that wasn't there before. Yeah, I think someone might have built that. Oh, somebody did not build that. They found it and they glued it. That's crazy. I mean, there's some onions in there that I'll take, I guess. But anyways, I need to go ahead and get the materials for this VTOL real quick, and I will meet you back whenever I have finished building it. Alright, that took way longer than I wanted it to, but I finally have everything. Also, it's gonna be so nice finally having like a large base. And you may have seen that I'm actually wearing some netherite and have a netherite pickaxe. And we're not gonna talk about how I got those, okay? Might be related to the fact that I have 2 potato cannons, as well as way too many backpacks. Dang it, I forgot to grab the physics assembler while I was in here. That's all I was coming in here for. Oh, it's because it doesn't like to place the shafts for some reason. There we go. And if you want to make this for yourself and fly it, I have a video linked in the description where I showcase exactly how this thing works, as well as the schematic in the description of that video. So if you want to be able to fly this, you can go ahead and check that out. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do this. That's a lot of stuff. Put the rest of the random stuff in these things. And I might as well just take like this stuff here as well, since I don't really want to lag out this area with this stuff either. On the map, I am roughly going to this area right here. So let me just mark that. I should just be able to head over to the new base spot. And once I get over there, I will show you what it looks like. Wait for me! No! And... ow. Oh, is it gonna flip itself? I mean, am I gonna flip it? Definitely, I did that with pure skill. And it honestly might just be better if I show you around this area by flying with my jetpack, because I'm just not a great pilot. And if you didn't know, if you have a brass jetpack from Stuff and Additions, as well as a curio slot for like the back slot, what you can actually do is, I just realized there's a slot, you can have 2 backpack slots. That's weird. Anyways, as I was saying, you can put an elytra in your back slot there, as well as your brass jetpack, and then you'll be able to fly with your elytra without using rockets. You can just use the jetpack to boost it. That's really cool. And I'm not sure that I want to build it in the snow, or at least not yet. Ooh, this is actually a cool area. I didn't notice that. Yeah, I feel like kind of near the water could be cool, just like in this little area. I think I'm gonna do it here. Should be enough space. So now I have to go around with a saw and cut down all these trees. So I will meet you back once I have finished doing this. So I finally cleared this area out of all the trees, and now we should be able to finally see what it looks like without the trees. It looks like it's inside the ground. That's what it looks like. So I may have to clear out some stuff after this gets built, because it should clear out what it needs to, and then I'll clear out the rest and keep everything else natural looking. And there's also a huge area underneath here that I'll have to fill in with something. For now, I need to get all of this built, and that is going to take a lot of stuff. I just need to go through at this point and look for everything that I need. And I guess I will meet you back once I have gotten as much as I can. So I needed 729 bolts, and I was going to make that many barrels, but I might have accidentally made a little bit more than that. I also used about 4,000 logs. That's all I wanted to tell you, so I'm going to get back to doing what I need to do now. Alright, well, as you can see in these backpacks, I've gotten most of what we need, and we're still missing the things like the acacia, the blue seats, which I don't need to make them blue, and I am completely out of zinc, so I can't make any of the rest of the copycats, which is a lot. So I went into the caves to grab the zinc, but I will admit I probably got a little bit more than I actually needed. And once I got out, I smelted it and made up the things that I needed for that, and went on to look for an acacia biome, but instead I did this. So I had to make the trek all the way back to my body, and since I didn't have an elytra, it took quite a long time, but I did eventually make it back. Finally found some acacia logs, as well as some hay bales and mud for the packed mud and mud bricks that I would need. Then I got the schematic positioned exactly where I wanted it to be, and started it up. So whenever you place this schematic in your world, this is what it's going to look like. There is going to be some space underneath, which I have placed torches and they might be floating if you don't have a floor beneath them. First of all, you'll want to go over to these 3 magnet generators right here. Go ahead and flip them on. All you have to do to turn them on is just right click this kinetic conversion bearing. And be very careful not to touch them because they will send you flying. Okay, that's so much worse than when I was testing in creative. Yeah, definitely do not touch them. I was on the ground and I was still moving backwards. Did you see that? What the heck just happened? That launched me so far that once I hit the ground, the friction wasn't enough to stop me. Anyways, as I was saying, there are going to be these struts around, and they aren't able to be placed by, did I just duplicate them? I just duplicated these. Yeah, but I'm actually going to go around and show you where all the struts are and where to connect them. So you should be able to see this block right here, which you can pick up and then go place it on the other side of it. Oh, that's what's happening. So I'm duplicating struts that I'm placing. That's not ideal. I'll get rid of the extras after. I don't want to cheat. So basically you want to have these 2 girders on either side of each of the magnets, as well as this girder right here, this one, and then like I said, these as well. After we've gotten those couple of girders, and actually I forgot, there's also more right here. They'll be on these 2 blocks, as well as mirrored on this side. Now, we should just be able to walk up to this staircase, and we can open this door right here, step inside, there is a pressure plate to open and close it automatically. And over on this side, we have some of our machines. And I'm just now realizing that the schematic cannon cannot place the chains on the chain conveyors. So we'll actually need to go through and do that first. We're going to start from the inside of this building because this right here is where the power gets connected from. So we go ahead and connect this chain conveyor up to this one to this one over to this one to this one inside here. This one will come down here with, and right there. I'm surprised that stepping on these didn't update them to break because there's no floor here. I forgot to make the floor. Or not that I forgot to make it, I didn't put it in the schematic rather. We have this one needs to connect to this one over to this one, and then you are inside. What the heck? Did you just see that? It was wearing a mask. That's so weird. Anyways, we'll need to connect up a weathered girder strut from there to there, from here down to here. Nope, not there. I meant there. From here over to here, and then we'll need to connect this chain conveyor over to this one. We need to connect all 4 of these together. Then the 3 of these in a line. Oh, I ran out of chains, so that was 64 chains already. That doesn't seem right at all. Was that really 64 chains? Oh, the distance changes the amount of chains it costs. Okay. And on this side, we're also going to need to place a weathered girder strut. No, not there. Right there. There we go. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, we can come in here and see the 4 basic machines. And if you're saying this isn't 4 types of machines, it's only 3. Well, you're technically right, but I would count the press going into a basin as a different machine than the press just pressing on a depot. But anyways, we have 2 presses to press things on depots, 2 to compact, 2 deployers here, 2 mixers next to them, and then we have a little bit of empty space here for anything that you may want. You will need to come over here, and next to your stock ticker you'll need to place either a seat with a mob inside of it, or a blaze burner. Either one should work. And then, ooh, these signs don't come with text on them when the schematic kind of places them, so that's good to know. So what you'll have to do is set this sign here to be, just say, your main storage or whatever, and that will send the packages from this prog port all the way to the main storage, which I'll get to in just a minute, and you'll need to name all the frogs over there main storage. And I have these signs here so you can say outgoing and incoming, just so you know which is which. And then here you can set this package frog port to be whatever you want. I will do IC workshop because why not? And this one we don't need to name since it's not really taking any packages in. In fact, we can actually set this package frog port. Where are the settings on it? There's no settings. Okay, so you will have to replace all of the frog ports. I guess that is also a thing. Just make sure to do that. And then this one can only send packages. And then if we head upstairs, we'll see that there is a saw here. All of these are backwards. Is everything backwards? Is these backwards? They are backwards. Okay. So depending on which way you rotate your whole build, you may need to actually come over to the bearings, add a gearbox, and place that right there. And that should get everything spinning the opposite direction. Everything should be correct now. And now let me show you this room a little bit better. Basically, on the left here, we have these crushing wheels, which you can't access because I'm dumb and I forgot that that doesn't work like that with a chest with blocks above. So you'll need to place a barrel instead. And then we also over here have a setup so that you can make whatever recipe sequences that you may need. Except for train tracks, we don't talk about those because they require lava. I have no idea why I just said train tracks. Train tracks you can do in here. It's the sturdy sheets that make train casing is what I was talking about that wouldn't work. And anyways, you should be able to set this list filter to output whatever recipe that you need to output, or rather deny the things that you need to output. And you can give these deployers whatever you need. And then we also over here have this little setup that allows you to make casings. Let me show you how it works. So if I just take some logs and let's say I need some andesite casings, what I can do is put my alloy in there or whatever you're trying to make into a casing, logs here, and those will get automatically turned into whatever it is you need. I'm not sure why it's going so slowly. And then this has a filter to only output stripped logs of any kind, so it doesn't matter what kind of log you put in, it will do the correct thing. Whoa, why is it going so much faster now? That's so weird. And that should be all for this room, other than I guess this ladder right here, which leads up to this tree right here, as well as these boilers, which are just here for decoration, but they do look pretty cool. And if we go back to the second floor and we go up these stairs, we can see that we have this area right here for all of your encased fan needs. So we have in order washing, haunting, smoking, blasting, with chests above and chutes below so that they can output all of the items. And that'll be just about all for this floor. Of course, you will have to do the same thing that you did at the other package frog ports here, replacing these frog ports, putting them anywhere on these conveyors should do. And if we go ahead and head down one floor where, funnily enough, there is no floor right now. So I will be placing the floor down, but I should have the schematic finished up and with this floor by the time I get this video out. And here is the elevator, which for some reason it didn't super glue, possibly because there was no floor. We have the controls there, and you can set this floor to whatever you want. We have 0, 1, 2, and then you will need to right click this elevator pulley to get it to be correct. And you can go ahead and press the button to bring the elevator up to you, which it should open the door and close it automatically. And you can set this to whatever floor you need it to go to. And then if we come up to the top, we have a fairly empty area. And your clockwork bearing should automatically start once you have those magnets started and it gets power connected to it. But if not, then just go ahead and right click it to turn it on. And if we come through this door, which actually you can also get through the second floor to go to, we can head across this bridge all the way into the factory area where you can put some smaller farms in here or just whatever you may need. And yet again, we have another little storage area, or your storage system area, I should say, where you'll need to break out the frog ports and just, do the same thing you did with the other areas. And now we can head on over to the back side by going under this bridge. And if you go to your right, we have this kind of platform area here with the main storage on this side, where you will need to pick your frog ports and go ahead and replace all of them. And don't forget to name these as your main storage, since if you don't do that, it won't really get sent to. And this I am of course talking about, you need to set the same words on this sign as you do your main storage frog ports, or else it just won't work. And with these stock links, they should all be on the same frequency already. Alright, and that should be about it for this side. And now we can head on over here where we have, actually I forgot to show this, but these right here are the fluid tanks that are going to contain all of your lava. And I'll show you how to get the lava in just a minute, but you have all of these pipes going up and coming out from the outside, as well as a spout here for your filling tanks, or if you just need a lava bucket or something. And over here, we have all of the netherrack, which is what you can place your lava on top of, although I forgot that you need to actually dig all the way down to do that. So I don't know why I put the netherrack here, it's not very helpful. But what are cool are these smokestacks, which you can change to whatever color you like. I prefer to have a mix of gray, light gray, and black. And if you have the occasional white smokestack, that's also nice. So you'll need to make this right here 62 blocks deep. And that should allow you to have plenty of lava to make your infinite lava source. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with an infinite lava source, then check out the infinite lava video I have linked in the description. But for those of you that do know, just make it 62 blocks deep and then place your lava 1 block above these smokestacks. And we have our mechanical pumps, and actually I just realized none of this is connected and I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll bring a chain conveyor over here. If I do bring a chain conveyor, I might bring it through here and end it up somewhere around here. So if the schematic has a chain conveyor around here, just connect that over to that one and it should be what I was trying to do. And then you'll also want to dig out this area here, just because this would be cool to have some lava flowing all the way underneath this. And it's not required, but I just think that it looks cool, so that's what I did. Just having it underneath these windows just looks nice to me. And of course we have the 4 smokestacks, which again you can leave as black smoke, or you can add some variants in there with whatever colors you want. But anyways, I think that just about does it for this base tour, as well as the video. I will go ahead and fix some things up for the schematic. Oh wait, actually, one last thing. I did leave space for you to put your vehicles on here, so if you have like a flying vehicle, you can land it in this area. And while it's not the largest, it should be enough to land some certain smaller vehicles. But anyways, that is going to have to be it for this video. And don't forget to leave a comment down below with what other things you'd like to see in my next video, whether it be something you want to see me do on the SMP, or if you want to see me make a tutorial. And if you want to help support the channel as well as get early access to all videos, you can become a channel member just like I have a crush on every boy, Arrowed, Steve Cook, Max Depot's Games, Epic Jedi Knight, and G-Dub. And on screen now I have a playlist with all of the Create Mod tutorials I've made, just in case you wanted to check some of those out for yourself and see what kinds of farms you can make. But anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.